Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell. You'll get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And when I'm not asking Bruce, hey, how big was Batista's? Well, you know. One of the things I like to do is help people save money. And if you're watching this video right now and you're in a 30-year loan, man, you're overpaying your single biggest bill and you may not even realize it. I want you to do a little experiment for me. Take your calculator out, multiply your monthly house payment by 360 payments. That's how many payments there are on a 30-year loan. That big scary number, that's your total of payments. You're looking at that number? You know you can do better. Keep more of your own money right now and go to savewithconrad.com. Or maybe you've got credit card debt. Man, it's not a matter of if I can save you money with that. Your average interest rate on a credit card is more than 20%. And by the way, all the interest you pay on those credit cards, it's not tax deductible. Whereas the mortgage interest, well, that is tax deductible. So if you owe this debt, it's up to you how to pay it back. Doesn't it make sense to get the cheapest rate possible and the greatest tax deduction possible? Find out how much money you can save right now for free at savewithconrad.com. You don't need perfect credit. Even scores in the 500s can be approved, and it's no cost out of pocket. But maybe best of all, we're licensed in more than 40 states. We can help more families than ever before. But how much can we save you? Find out right now for free with a quick quote from savewithconrad.com.
Well, he won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck. He's a real athlete, so give him your respect. He's got intensity, integrity, intelligence too. Oh, it's true, it's damn true. So if he ever finds you and you're chanting you suck, then he'll douse you in dairy with his big milk truck. And with one angle slam, he'll lay you out on the floor. So listen up, it's time to go. It's the Kurt Angle Show.
Hey, this is Kurt Angle, and welcome to the Kurt Angle Show. On the show today, we'll be discussing Royal Rumble 2006 and my first and only World Heavyweight title reign. But first, let me introduce to you my co-host, Paul Bromwell. How you doing today, Paul?
Kurt, I'm doing great, man. Always good to be here with you on the Kurt Angle Show, and it is freaking Royal Rumble season. I know last week we did the Megasode 2000, 2001, 2002. Got a lot of great feedback from that show. We had a lot of fun putting it together. Well, listen, let's jump into it, man. We're here to talk about Royal Rumble 2006, and the story this year in 06 really starts for you at New Year's Revolution. You're in the Elimination Chamber main event for the WWE title. It is in Albany, New York, and it's you against John Cena. He's the champion, along with Shawn Michaels, Carlito, Chris Masters, and Kane. And I want to ask you before we get into this, because we got a clip. I can't wait to throw it to it because this place is going to explode when it's angle time. Is it nerve-wracking standing in those pods at all, waiting to get in there? What is that like?
It's pretty intense because you want to go out there and do your thing, and you're stuck in there. So I knew the cameras would be showing me, so I was acting like a rabid animal, stuck in a cage, foaming at the mouth, and I couldn't wait to get in there. And then when they released me, it was suplexes across the board, and then I got eliminated.
Well, buddy, we're going to show a clip from that, and I don't want to steal any of the thunder. I want us to hear and listen to the crowd pop, so I'm going to play the some of the audio for that right now. Let's check it out, New Year's Revolution here, 06.
Recount, so traditional rules do apply. Double backdrop from HBK. Oh, wait, we're down to 3 seconds. Who's it going to be, boys? Angle of the masterpiece. Oh, it's Kurt Angle. Oh my gosh, look at him. He's like a wild raging bull. Oh! Kurt Angle is a suplex machine. A trifecta of German suplexes. Gosh, he's on fire. Look out. No bridges, gentlemen. All impact. He is punishing his opponents with purpose. Stay out of the way, Rick. Oh my God. I mean, Kurt Angle. I mean, intense does not begin to describe this man here tonight. He's a wrestling. Oh, no! God! God! Kurt Angle doesn't care who he flips, where he flips them. And Shawn Michaels hit that. Oh no! There went Carlito too. Carlito lands knees first on the steel. Carlito was almost decapitated. He was hung on that top rope. Carlito's out. Shawn Michaels landed on his lower back. And now Kurt Angle has what he wants. He has isolated the hatred for.
You're exactly right. There's nothing that the Olympic champion would like more than to be the man to eliminate John Cena.
And there is nothing he won't do to John Cena to eliminate him in the Elimination Chamber.
No, you're kidding me. Right in front of us here.
Catapult right into that steel chain.
Kurt Angle has single-handedly turned this match upside down.
Kurt, I counted like 7, 8 suplexes right off the bat, you coming in. Dude, where do you get the energy for something like that? Unbelievable.
Well, you only have a few minutes to do what you do, especially with me. I was getting eliminated early, so I wanted to make a huge impression at first.
Well, the crowd went nuts when you came in. German suplexes everywhere, as I said. You're the first one eliminated when HBK hit you with the super kick for the pin. And this is weird, man. I got to admit, this is interesting because these are also the days where WWE was running split crews. So while you guys are doing your thing here at the pay-per-view here, there's also another show happening for SmackDown. And it's main evented by Batista and Mark Henry. And I bring this up because Batista would tear his tricep at this show. Did you know at this point in the pay-per-view that this had occurred? Or were you guys filled in yet? Or did you know any of this information about Batista tearing his tricep?
No, we didn't know at that particular time. And that's not the reason I got eliminated early.
Okay.
The reason I got eliminated early is because I won paper, rock, scissors. We had a competition because John Cena was the champion. He was going to retain the title at Elimination Chamber. So the other 5 of us decided everybody wanted to get eliminated early. They didn't want to last the whole match because they weren't going to win. And I won paper, rock, scissors, so I got eliminated first. That doesn't happen very often, but we did it that night.
Paper, rock, scissors, guys. You heard it here first. That's how they determine who would win an elimination or go out first in elimination scissors. Holy shit. Wow. Never heard that one before, but that's fun. Well, let's show everyone. Let's show the fans. Let's let them listen in your elimination here for this match.
Oh, he's sizing up Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle! But now Kurt Angle slips through. Kurt Angle drops down. The man wants a counter for every hold. And now, look at him locked up the ankle lock.
You have Chris Masters in the ankle lock,
Is the masterpiece going to be the
which he should tap out by now. Give me a break.
You're damn right, you should.
Come on.
Might as well tap him.
And here comes Cena. You counter it, get him in the ankle lock. And I love referee Mike Chioda in there calling the action for this Elimination Chamber.
Little Mike.
Yep. Coyote.
And Styles, Cena's right in the middle of the ring. There is nowhere for Cena to go.
Somebody is going to have
Wow,
to
this is
save
a little too
Cena,
long.
but I don't think anybody's going to want to.
Sweet chin music from HBK. 1, 2, and 3.
And the reason I had Shawn eliminate me is because we were doing a program together, and I figured this would add some continuity to it.
So there you go. So you said the reason I had Shawn eliminate me. So you had a little bit of a say in that.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. So there you go. You're out. You're eliminated. And Edge would end up coming out after the Elimination Chamber and cashing in his Money in the Bank contract to defeat John Cena to become the new WWE champion. And it's reported in the Observer that it wasn't decided upon to do that until late in the week. Did you know ahead of time that that was the plan as far as Edge cashing in here?
No, I didn't. I knew the day of the show, and I wasn't surprised. I knew Edge would cash in sooner than later, especially before WrestleMania, and that's what happened. He became champion that night.
Well, let's get into it because this is really the narrative of this episode. When are you told about Batista's arm injury tearing his bicep tendon?
Well, ironically, I saw him at the hotel that night when he injured his elbow. For some reason, we were crossing paths because we had a show near each other, and he was pretty down. And he told me that he tore his tendon off his elbow and he'd have to have surgery. And he was pretty upset about it. I felt badly for him.
Get even more from the hottest new podcast going, My World, with Jeff Jarrett over at adfreeshows.com. Let me get granular here for a minute, folks. Not only can you get the entire My World episode library with 0 ads, new episodes come your way each week early, ad-free, and on video starting at just $9 a month. We've also got tons of exclusive My World bonus content waiting for you, plus unique interactive experiences with your old pal, Double J. You get to jump on and ask Jeff questions, and if you joined us in Chicago this year for Top Guy Weekend, you got to hang out the entire weekend. 100% the best value in all of wrestling. Strut on over to adfreeshows.com right now to sign up.
Yeah, that is definitely, especially when you're carrying the title and you know automatically you're going to have to give up the belt. That has got to be very disheartening. And
I know he didn't want to drop it that way. Nobody wants to drop it that way.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. So they got to figure out what to do here. What's next steps? So the next night on Raw, you're going to team with Shawn Michaels, and you lose to Chris Masters and Carlito. Yes, I just said that. I can't believe I said that. But you and Shawn Michaels lose to Chris.
Got to push the young guys.
You pass out in Masters Master Lock after HBK hits you with the Sweet Chin music. It's announced that next week on Raw, you'll be taking Shawn on one-on-one, which, by the way, this is important, as you said. He also took you out in that Elimination Chamber. But here we go, Kurt. Here's the flip in the plans. So you're still a Raw superstar, but they put you in your car, and from Raw, you're going from Hershey to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to be on SmackDown. And my goodness, that night, you're going to become the world heavyweight champion for the first time. But first, before we get there, let's discuss the move to SmackDown. Are you excited about moving to SmackDown from Raw? Or at this point in time, are you looking at this as a step down?
I never looked at being on either show as a step down. I never thought that SmackDown was second to Raw or Raw was second to SmackDown. But the reason why they chose me is because they went to the other top wrestlers on Raw, and none of them wanted to leave Raw. And Vince called me and said, I need a favor from you. I know you were on SmackDown for years. You just came over the Raw recently, but I need you to go back to SmackDown. And I said, Vince, I'm a team player. I'll do this, whatever you need. And I did it.
Kurt, are you told when you're moved that, hey, we're going to have plans for you with the World Heavyweight Championship, or is that something that's communicated to you once you arrive at the arena that day?
Actually, Vince told me on the phone that night when I talked to him. So it was before the event, the night before. And I knew that I would win the World Heavyweight title in a battle royal.
Well, before the bicep tear, obviously, I'm sure there was some kind of plans in place. Was the goal to have you eventually head to WrestleMania to work with Shawn Michaels before Batista's injury? Do you know if that was laid out ahead of time or not?
My guess is yes. I think that I would have wrestled Shawn. We would have probably had our 4th or 5th match. It would have been the blow-off match, and it would have been at WrestleMania. So I would guess that it would have been Shawn Michaels that I would have wrestled at WrestleMania to duplicate the same match we had at WrestleMania 21.
Buddy, you and Shawn Michaels could wrestle every WrestleMania as far as I'm concerned. And those,
I don't know anybody that doesn't love wrestling Shawn. Everybody's had their best match ever with Shawn Michaels.
It's true. And, and you're at the top of your game, and you two together just had some great matches. We're going to watch a clip of one of them.
Chemistry. Yeah.
Great chemistry, absolutely, for sure. So here you are. And by the way, we've covered and you've talked about WrestleMania 22. It's back in the archives, so check it out. So you arrive in Philadelphia for SmackDown. And also with you at this point, you have Daivari. He's your manager at the time. Let's educate those that don't remember this. First of all, why is Daivari your manager? Do you remember why they brought him in to help you out?
Well, I kept turning babyface, and Vince wanted me to stay heel, so he gave me Daivari as a manager because Daivari was a heel his whole career. So that was the idea, was to try to keep me heel. The problem was, fans started really liking me and liking my wrestling machine character. It was really tough to stay heel.
Well, he's with you. What about his thoughts? Do you know what he thought about, hey, because again, you're going to SmackDown. He's coming with you. He doesn't necessarily have much say in the matter. Was he excited about the move?
Yeah, because we were going to be world champion. I think anybody would be excited about that.
True. Good point. He's going to be featured in the main storylines there. So Batista's there. He's at the show. He's vacating the title. Talk about, did you get to have any conversations with him the day of SmackDown and the taping and what his mindset was that day, Kurt?
Unfortunately, I didn't get to talk to him, but I did talk to him the night or 2 nights prior when he got injured. And, like I said before, he was really upset and really down about what happened.
And I'm sure, and I'm assuming that because it was so fresh, did he realize, hey, this could potentially be a 6-month layoff, if not longer? Had he had any idea what this may look like for him?
Well, for most wrestlers, we know what injuries, how long you're going to be out. Just assuming, you tear a tendon off your elbow, you're going to be out for a while, at least 6 months, maybe 8 months. So it depends on what the injury is. If it's a pulled muscle, a few weeks. If it's a torn muscle, a few months. But a torn tendon, 6 to 8 months.
Wow. Well, going into the show, obviously, everything you had planned out for Rumble changes. And again, we talked a little bit about the plan that we think would have been, and you think would have been Shawn Michaels eventually for WrestleMania. Do you know if there was a plan for you for the Rumble prior to all this changing?
I would guess I would have been in the Rumble. And I think that Shawn and I would have duplicated what we did a couple years prior at WrestleMania, or the year prior at WrestleMania 21. Before that, we did the Royal Rumble where Shawn eliminated me. And I'd imagine this time I probably would have eliminated him, and that would have continued the storyline.
Well, Kurt, we're going to go to it. We're going to go to the Battle Royal. We're going to first go, we're going to join it where they're introducing you as the surprise entrant. Now, mind you, you had not been on the SmackDown brand at this point. You had just been on Raw, so this is a huge surprise to the crowd. And then you'll notice the video fast forwards it towards the end when you win. And man, I got to say, this was a lot of fun here in Philadelphia, particularly because I was in the crowd for this.
I know you were, Paul.
And I remember this. And when I saw we were covering this, I thought, oh, this is awesome. I've been looking forward to this one.
For you, huh?
It is, because I was right there in the crowd. And when the confetti was falling, it was a big night. So let's go to that and listen to the pop that you get, or the crowd reaction as you come in, and then the ending here.
Now we're going to find out who a new world champ is. We got one more entry. Who is it? JBL, watch out! And there's a German suplex. Kurt Angle from Raw is... Watch out! And JBL has been eliminated. Oh God! JBL has been eliminated. What the? Wait a minute. Vito's been eliminated. What the? This guy's not even from Smith. What is going on? Everybody ganging up on Kurt Angle. Beat the hell out of him. You got him. Kurt Angle from Raw showed up here tonight and eliminated JBL and Vito from the get-go. And now this over-the-top rope battle royal is underway. It's tough to get out of that. Kurt Angle using every muscle in his body to try to immobilize Mark Henry here, to try to teeter on the apron. To pull him over the top rope, Cole.
So, Kurt, we fast forward through the initial eliminations, and here you are. It's down to you and Mark Henry. He's got with Melina with him at this point.
Vertical base. Oh, man.
She's at ringside in the storyline here, and you got Daivari. And this is the ending with you, a big badass Mark Henry.
He's a beast too, man. This guy was so hard to eliminate.
And look at how you do this. You've got him in a head scissors trying to bring him outside of the ring from over the top rope.
I just wanted to make sure that head scissors stood.
And look, there it is. The new king of SmackDown.
I'm back on SmackDown again.
Yeah, you're just not.
Buddy,
you just weren't back on SmackDown. You're the world champion on SmackDown. That's a way to come back to a show. Look, fireworks. I mean, it's full deal here. You're getting the WrestleMania send-off on a SmackDown. Confetti shooting in the air.
This was a cool moment.
That's what I'm saying. I'll never forget it. I had never been in an audience before for a confetti moment on wrestling. So there you go, man. Oh, so much fun. And Kurt, big moment for you right there.
Yeah, it was a huge moment. It was the first and only time I actually won the World Heavyweight Championship. And it was my 6th world title in WWE.
Well, as we said and as we saw there, you eliminate JBL in 9 seconds, Vito in 13 seconds, Orlando Jordan, William Regal, Paul Burchill. I mean, you're just taking them all out. And then obviously Mark Henry, you win the world title. But before we go any further, I want to ask, William Regal, recently released by WWE after a 22-year run. What did you think of that? And were you surprised to hear that news, Kurt?
I was surprised. He was a huge asset to the company. He was a great trainer and coach, one of the best technicians I've ever known. He was a big plus for the company. I was really shocked they let him go.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people has a great wealth of knowledge and done so much for the wrestling business. But let's continue on now with the storyline here. So Mark Henry, the man in the ring with Batista when Batista got hurt. So obviously he's going to be positioned as the top contender for the title. But at this point, Kurt, you're a heel. Mark's a heel. Did this make you the de facto babyface in this kind of confrontation between the two of you?
Well, if you noticed that night, I was a babyface.
The crowd made you a babyface.
Babyface. Like I said before, I was struggling hard to stay heel. So this was an easy transition, especially going up against Mark Henry because he was one of the top heels in the company.
So Henry would attack you after the match, put you through a table. And I guess at this point, they're starting to fill you in as the creative. Hey, you're going to be working with him at the Rumble. I mean, I'm sure you got to find out that news pretty quickly after this event.
Well, you know, that's why he got heat on me after the Rumble. After I beat him, he was angry, put me through a table, and that continued the program on to the Royal Rumble.
Well, let's hear from Dave Meltzer and his thoughts, what he has to say from The Observer. He said Angle's low back along with his neck are in real bad shape these days. His mentality won't allow him to take it easy. And now that he's got the belt, he's going to be out there every night trying to deliver championship matches with the likes of Henry, which isn't likely to help. Is that your mentality? And talk about where you are at this point with your neck and your back and all this good stuff.
Yeah, that was my mentality. I always went 120%. And you have to remember, at this point in time, I broke my neck already 4 different times in WWE. And so I was at the point in my life where I was like, I just have to keep going till I can't go anymore. That was my mindset at this particular time, which wasn't the right mindset. I shouldn't be abusing my body like that, especially after, you know, at this point in time, I actually had a broken neck. My neck was broken during this match. And the only reason why I didn't have surgery is because none of the discs had any damage. It was just broken vertebrae. And they would heal, and the doctor just told me, be careful, which is really hard to do in wrestling. But I figured, you know what? If I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down fighting. I'm going to work and wrestle as hard as I possibly can for the fans until I can't go anymore. And that was my mindset.
Well, and the thing of it is, and now you're in the ring with the big bear, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. I mean, my God, talk about torture on the body. How hard was it kind of wrestling a guy with his size, stature? That's got to be tough on you, Kurt.
Well, you know what? Mark was a pretty damn good athlete. And, you know, he was hard to lift up. But for the most part, he was really safe. He wasn't stiff. The only stiff thing that he did was a splash where he landed on you with all 400 pounds on your body. But other than that, you know, Mark was pretty good to work with. I didn't have any problems physically working with Mark.
Well, now you go on to take on Shawn at Raw. You get the title. Your title won't be on the line, But
that was our WrestleMania match here on Raw.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's why I said that I would probably wrestle him at WrestleMania, because we ended up using this match here as the blow-off match.
So let's take a look at this clip, because we have some fun from that as well. So here we go. This is Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels, and let's check this out, and then I'll have some questions for you here.
Okay.
You will be facing Shawn Michaels as scheduled here tonight. But you're not going to be defending your World Heavyweight title here tonight. No, but there will be a stipulation. Stipulation, the match would be one like, if Shawn Michaels loses this match to you tonight, Shawn Michaels' contract will be terminated immediately tonight.
What? What did he say?
So why don't we get Shawn Michaels out here right now, Lillian? Introduce Shawn Michaels. Let's have our first match here tonight on Raw. Come on, let's get it on.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first.
What a way to kick off the show, huh? Randy versus Shawn Michaels, first match of the night.
Yeah, so we're watching here as, those on ad free can see the video. It's you and Shawn Michaels. We'll go back to some audio here in a minute. But Shawn comes down, you're wrestling, Vince throws out the stipulation, and before the match, you would cut a promo that your contract had actually expired on January 1st. And when you heard about Batista's injury, you made the decision to go. Is this creative kind of helping you guys fix some of the storyline gaps at this point?
Yes, because they didn't want me just to say, hey, I switched from Raw to SmackDown just because I wanted to. So there had to be some kind of stipulation or a reason why I left. And it's because my contract expired on January 1st, and I was able to be a free agent and go where I wanted. And I decided to go to SmackDown.
Well, here you are, you, Shawn Michaels. What you said should have been, originally was planned potentially as a WrestleMania match. Let's listen into some of the commentary here.
Center of the ring. Don't do it, Shawn. Don't tap. Look out.
He tried to kick off the World Heavyweight Champion, Kurt Angle, but Angle
You said it earlier how fun it is to work with Shawn, but you can just see the smoothness between the ankle lock and transition.
Yeah, we were smooth together. We had great chemistry, but Shawn, he sold like no other. I mean, he really made it look really real.
Look at him.
He was the best.
Yeah, his selling and now we have Daivari jumping in the ring with a chair. Let's listen to the commentary.
Kurt Angle's got Shawn Michaels hooked.
What is Daivari thinking? Oh my God!
He just clocked Kurt Angle to Daivari. Shawn Michaels won the match. Shawn Michaels got him.
Oh my God!
The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Holy crap!
I don't even know what to say.
All you can say is I think that somehow Daivari couldn't leave him in senses.
Daivari lost Kurt Angle the match and saved Shawn Michaels' career.
There's absolutely no other way to say it but that. I mean, Daivari, I think I know what's going through his head, but
I think Kurt Angle wants an explanation. He wants it right now.
I think the next thing that goes through Daivari's head may be Kurt Angle's fist. Look at the look on Kurt's face.
Shawn Michaels just...
What the hell you doing, Daivari? He'll fix it. Oh, you're going to fix something.
Daivari apologized. Said it was an accident.
Daivari is smooth.
Tell me what you were thinking. I had to think. He was tapping out. And you over here with the ref. I know. I'm sorry. But you are still the champion because of me.
Oh, he slaps you in the face. Oh, it's on. Daivari, that was not the right move, my friend.
Daivari's judgment just went from bad to worse.
You got that right, Joey Styles.
That's how you get rid of a manager.
So there he goes. He's out. He's gone. See you, Daivari. And now, is this to fully transform you to the babyface that you need to be now on the SmackDown brand?
Yes, that was the idea, and I had to get rid of Daivari to do that.
But I don't think, does it bother you at all that you had to take the L in order to accomplish that? Because you didn't lose the title, right?
No, I mean, I was protected because there was interference. So,
yeah.
Losing to Shawn by any means, there's nothing wrong with that. I would do a job for Shawn any day, any time. But, here I was protected because it was Daivari's fault, and he caused me to lose.
Well, fast forward now to the January 20th edition of SmackDown. We're getting closer to that Rumble. And now you are going to fight Daivari, because of course you are. That's how the storyline progresses. And here it is. We're going to jump to that clip of you and Daivari and how that ends to set up Royal Rumble.
And take out anything he sees.
Watch out! Angle slam delivered to Daivari, and Kurt Angle is in the zone.
When the straps are off, your shit's done, man. It's over.
What's going to happen?
It's like Hogan hulking up all over again. Uh-oh.
What's she doing in the ring? The referee going to call for the disqualification here, but Melina's in all kinds of trouble.
Why would she jump? Don't jump on Angle's back.
She deserved it.
I don't disagree, but
You don't see this these days. Ankle lock on a woman.
In some wrestling groups, they do have intergender wrestling. But here you go.
Loving blow by the world's strongest man.
Mark Henry.
Cole, we've seen this from Henry, and that'll break ribs.
That's the splash I was talking
Power
about.
slam.
God.
The world's strongest.
That's when he stepped. That's the
Mark
only
Henry and
move.
Kurt Angle meet for the World Heavyweight Championship at the Royal Rumble. But you've got to be concerned for Kurt Angle's health here tonight.
Wait a minute.
And he's going for the stairs, buddy. This doesn't look good, my friend. Lucky he didn't hit you with those stairs.
Well, Cole, Mark Henry's
Amazing how
got
easily he
bad
threw his
intentions on
stairs
his
in there.
mind.
And look at Mark Henry just stalking the World Heavyweight Champion.
Mark Henry is vicious. Angle turn around.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Watch out.
No, don't do it. The stairs to the shoulder and back of Kurt Angle, driving Angle out of the ring.
Now, the reason he didn't hit me in the head with the stairs is because my neck was broken.
Yeah.
He decided to play it safer than sorry.
I mean, my goodness. Well, I was thinking to myself, wow, what would Meltzer say after you took that blow to the back? But listen, Melina, you put her in the ankle lock. I got to imagine it was probably the softest ankle lock you've ever applied in your entire life.
I took care of it.
So you defeat Daivari, okay, in your first official match there by disqualification. We saw Melina. She jumps all over you. Mark Henry interferes, attacks you. You're officially a babyface. We are all cheering so hard for you, Kurt. Were you happy to be back on the babyface side?
For me, it didn't matter. As long as I was wrestling, I was.
As long as them paychecks are rolling in, baby, and you're
That's
wrestling.
fine. As long as I'm getting paid, I'm doing what I love to do. It
There you
didn't matter
go.
whether I was a babyface or a heel.
Well, let's get back to Dave, because we all love to hear what the Observer has to say, and he has some interesting news. Just after winning the world title, the health of Kurt Angle is once again in question.
Of course.
As what is believed to be significant neck damage has led to Angle's hand going numb. Angle has continued to wrestle, although he was heavily protected, doing short tag team matches on his second and third night in Mexico this week when word got out about the damage. I feel like I'm on Inside Edition. Angle went into the January 19th WWE debut in Mexico City in great pain, according to a few sources. The decision was made to put him in short matches in Guadalajara and Monterrey, where partners Rey Mysterio and Chris Benoit carried the load. The expectation over the weekend was that Angle would be going for another MRI this week to try and determine the problem, but with Angle's history of neck problems, the concern, at least some parts of the company, was very high. Many have questioned how, with his back and neck injuries and pain not a secret, that there wasn't more concern addressed to Angle's health in recent weeks, if not longer. But when Angle got back from Mexico, he claimed he was okay and may not even be getting checked out. Break it down for us, Kurt. Is your hand getting numb? What's happening? Who do you tell? Fill us in here.
Well, like I said, my neck was broken, and I, had a little swelling in my neck, and my hand went numb. And I was down in Mexico, and these doctors were giving acupuncture with acupuncture needles. And the crazy thing was they were using the same needles on every wrestler. And I didn't know this. And Dr. Rios, the WWE doctor, came up to me and said, "Hey, Kurt, they use the same needles on these Mexican wrestlers, on the American wrestlers. They use the same ones on you. You're going to have to get tested for hepatitis when you get back for a whole year." I had to get tested every month for a whole year to make sure I didn't get hepatitis. It was crazy.
Dude. So when Mexico changed around, so all the stuff, when you come back to the States, does Vince talk to you about any of this? Or are you going to the medical office? Like, what does this look like?
Well, the numbness went away, and I decided that I was fine, and I went to Dr. Rios, and he checked me over, gave me a physical. I passed it, and I said, "I want to keep wrestling." He said, "All right, but just be careful because your neck, you still have broken vertebrae in your neck, and that's what's causing the numbness in your arms, in your hands." So, but they allowed me to continue to wrestle because I wanted to.
My goodness, I cannot believe the lack of sterilization and how that could have, and I guess everything was fine for the next year. You didn't get hepatitis or anything like that.
Oh, thank
but
goodness.
Man, that's freaking scary. So we move on, and you're on the go-home SmackDown. You take on Eminem, Joey Mercury, and Johnny Nitro in a handicap match because of Melina attacking you the week before, so it only makes sense. You get the win, which is impressive considering they were the SmackDown Tag Team Champions at the time. What did you think of working with both these guys, Johnny Nitro and Joey Mercury?
I thought they were the best tag team on SmackDown, and I really believe they were. And it was a huge honor for me to beat both of them in a handicap match. They made me look really strong.
Two very talented folks. Johnny Nitro still doing his thing, and I know he's no longer with WWE, but man, talented performer. He's done some great things in Impact. It'll be interesting to see where he shows up next. He's a pending free agent. But, man, some of the stuff he could do in the ring, the flips and some of the high moves, yes. Unbelievable. Well, after the match, Mark Henry attacks but ends in the ankle lock and powers out of it, which is something not done often. Is this just trying to get this guy over as a monster or what? Powering out of your ankle lock, Kurt.
Of course, Mark Henry, you always want to make him look like a monster. I mean, he is legitimately the strongest man in the world. So, and he's 400 pounds. So you have to make him fit the part.
Yeah, he incredible athlete, especially too for a man his size. So we've made it to the Rumble. It's at American Airlines Arena in Miami. It's you versus Mark Henry in the main event. You guys are going to go on after John Cena versus Edge and the Royal Rumble match itself. Rey Mysterio ends up winning the Royal Rumble, who, by the way, we've had here on the show. Fantastic guest. If you haven't listened, go check out that one in the archives. Did you think at this point Rey was going to work you at Mania or did you still think it was going to be you versus Randy Orton?
Well, I was told recently, at that particular time that I was going to work Orton at WrestleMania. But when Rey won the Royal Rumble, I kind of knew we were going to have a triple threat match, and I was okay with that. Anytime Rey is involved in a match with me, I know it's going to be 5-star.
And there's two who are still getting it done in the ring. Rey Mysterio, big news this week. It's going to be on the cover of the video game.
That's awesome. Congratulations to Rey.
Yeah. There's a lot of talk about the exploitation, by the way, of Eddie Guerrero's death with Rey's win here. Did you feel it was done that way? Because honestly, I want to get your perspective. What are your thoughts on that?
I thought it was done in great taste. I mean, to have Rey Mysterio, Eddie's best friend, win the world title in Eddie's memory, I thought that was an awesome moment. And I don't see why anybody would be upset about that.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with you, and I think it did a lot, too, for guys that always didn't fit the profile of the big man world heavyweight champion. It's done so much. Rey has really been such a prominent figure when it comes to smaller guys and what they can do in this business. So I'm with you.
He's a megastar. He really is.
He's amazing. So we go back to the Observer, and it said the decision was made to put the Rumble in the middle of the show. They ended with Angle versus Mark Henry because of the gimmick where Undertaker's magic would cause the ring to collapse, which obviously has to be at the end of the show. It was clearly a mistake. People were leaving in droves during the match, which was terrible, and the match had no heat. and whatever magic pop they got for the special effects hardly made up for ending on such a flat note. So a lot going on here. Was it because of what Undertaker does after your match to determine where you guys would be? Is that what you guys were told as well on the main event?
Yes, because Undertaker was going to do this grand entrance, and he was going to have some magic going on, pyro, lights, explosions, and the ring was going to implode, and we had to save that for the end of the night.
So as a result, do you think, Kurt, that you were put in a position of failure? Were you set up for failure going on against Henry last on the card?
In some ways, yes. I mean, you had the Royal Rumble on in the middle of the show, and then you had John Cena versus Edge right after that. And then our match came last, and it was a long night. I mean, these fans were there for 5 hours, and to already see the Rumble and see a world championship match between Cena and Edge, we were a hard act to follow. Or we were following a very difficult.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there. Yeah, following all those had to be next to impossible.
It was what did you for the fans? They were leaving, after Edge and Cena, and it was a bit disheartening. But there's nothing you can do about that. That's the way the show had to go.
What did you think about working with Mark in general? Do you think it worked, or did you think it didn't work? Do you think there was chemistry or no chemistry? What are your general thoughts?
We had a pretty solid match. The only thing was it was the end of the night, and it was a really long night. And the fans were tired. But, it was a very short match, though. It was only like 8.5, 9 minutes. I think if we would have put in a little bit more time and we had been on earlier, the match would have been much better.
Well, Kurt, we have the clip here. We clipped some splices of the match together. So let's check it out. You, Mark Henry, what we're here to talk about today, Royal Rumble 2006. Let's check it out.
Kurt is very, he's very focused. He's a smart competitor in there.
The straps are off.
You know what's next? There it is. The ankle lock. The ankle lock locked in. He's got it. He's got that ankle lock. Tell him tap out. Let Mark Henry tap out. Get the Vari off the damn apron already. Enough. And Mark Henry again. Kicks out. This time, Angle inadvertently takes out referee Charles Robinson.
Coming with some crazy innovative ways to bump the ref.
Oh yeah. Now, how would you come up with a ref spot like that? Just talk about it beforehand with Charles, pull him in, say, hey, this is what we're going to do?
Oh, yeah. Well, we planned it before the match.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's pretty easy to do.
Just as long as Charles shows up and does what he's supposed to. Now, you just took a chair shot to Daivari outside, cleaned his clock.
Chair bent in half off the skull of Daivari. Watch out! Steel chair. Oh, my. Talk about strong.
I think I did hit his head still.
He stopped the momentum of that chair. Oh my God, he's so powerful. And now he just tossed Angle halfway across the ring. I don't know what bent the chair more, Daivari's head or Mark Henry's hands. Oh, and a low by Angle.
I don't care how you're big. That's going to stop everybody.
Referee never saw it.
The old nut shot.
And now Kurt Angle, steel chair yet
I'm a babyface right now. What the hell am I doing?
You got a chair. You're hitting him with a chair. You're hitting him in the nuts, and you're a babyface, Kurt.
Look at this, Cole. Mark Henry is toe-strung.
I was always a tweener.
Tweener. But that's what gave you the edge. Nobody wanted a white meat baby face at this point.
No, it did. The fans really did appreciate it.
Dude.
It's a good time.
Henry kicks out.
It sounds to me like the fans are really into it, to be honest with you.
The ones that are there, I mean, I do see a lot of red chairs, though.
Yeah.
Check it out next time they do a far away shot. Meltzer's not lying.
If the people thought when the Rumble was over, the show was over.
Yeah, see the red chairs in the background? Now you're taking the turnbuckle off here. Now you've exposed the turnbuckle here.
Uh-oh. Kurt Angle. Revert. What the hell? Kurt Angle. Oh, my God. Kick to the knee. Go off the steel turnbuckle. Schoolboy. He's got him here. He's got it. He got it.
That was a heel win.
Listen, you threw him into the turnbuckle that had the padding rip off. You hold his tights when you give him the schoolboy. Everything about's a heel, but man, we're cheering for you, buddy. Uh-oh, here we go.
Listen, this is the best entrance I've ever seen. I had chills up and down my spine during this. I was such a fanboy. This is unbelievable. Being in that ring for this, wow. And this is the first time he came back as The Undertaker. He was the American Badass. This is his first back as the Taker.
Look, he's on a white horse coming down, buddy.
And Armageddon, and it's The Undertaker. He's on a... What the hell is going on?
I mean, I said this before. I felt like I was going to have an orgasm.
Well, before you do that, hopefully you pull your slinglet sleeves back up so you can contain it. We don't need you blowing off your trunks. Here he comes, the Taker.
He just rode a black chariot in here.
The great thing about Taker is he always takes his time.
He always what?
He's so dramatic. He always takes his time.
Yes.
He's never rushed. He really knows how to, let this settle and, just, what's the word I'm looking for?
Just the ambiance and the whole set. Everything is just.
Yeah. Just, letting things just.
He lets it breathe.
Yes, lets it breathe. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, look at you. You're holding that title for dear life. It would go off the air. My goodness, Kurt. They can say anything
they didn't show
want.
The ring imploding, though. What happened?
No, and it's not on the network, man. It's not on the network, that part.
I feel strongly that saving money is important. If it's not something we worry about now, boy, we are really going to worry about it later. And I want to help you get out of debt faster and do it with cheaper monthly payments. I'm talking to you if you're in a 30-year loan. Now is the time to take years off of your loan. We're routinely helping our listeners cut 5, 10, even 15 years off their loan. And you can do this without perfect credit with no money out of pocket. You've just got to start at savewithconrad.com.
And here's another thing, by the way. You know how we did the Royal Rumble Megasode? And I added the clip at the end for you and Christian, and I found it on YouTube to add it to our show, where you said, where you're talking about, I jump up and down on my quad. Buddy, they ripped that. That part of that is not on Peacock.
Wow, they took it out.
They cut that back part of that promo with you and Christian. It is not on Peacock. They spliced it and took it out.
One of the best pre-tapes ever.
Buddy, it's not there. I had to find it on YouTube for that episode.
That's crazy.
Sorry, it just made me think of that when I also said they didn't show. I didn't see the ring implode either.
We can't even ask the fans to go on Peacock to see it.
Yeah, and you know what? That clip I might have just gotten was from Derek Sabato, who does research. Helped me grab that off YouTube. So I don't know if that one's on Peacock or not, but I will tell you they did trim your awesome line there. That pre-tape with Christian, that is gone from Peacock.
That's crazy.
But so there we go. Let's wrap up this match with what the Observer and what Meltzer would say. He said Kurt Angle would beat Mark Henry to keep the title in 9 minutes 29 seconds. Crowd was dead and leaving for this one. Henry did some strength spots. Angle used a German suplex and an angle slam for a near fall. Angle whacked Daivari with a chair, which we did see, and then Henry blocked it with a super strength. You hit him with a low blow, whacked him with 2 hard chair shots to the head. Henry would kick out. You did the turnbuckle padding. You undid that there. Henry charged, used a drop toe hold. His head hit the exposed metal, and then used a schoolboy of sorts for the pin. I think, again, to quote Meltzer, this was the worst match of Angle's career. Post-match saw Undertaker come out for a title challenge for No Way Out. His magical power saw lightning come into the ring, and then the ring collapsed, and that was it for the show. He gave it 3/4 of a star. Not even a star. So Dave is super negative about the match. What say you? Do you think this was the worst match of your career at this point?
I don't know if it was. I know the match was really brief, and it was at the end of the night, and and there was a very exciting pay-per-view, especially with the Rumble and Cena and Edge. So I just think we were put in a bad position. And do I think that was the worst match of my career? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, to that point. Yeah, there you go. Well, Dave, sorry. We really love your research, and sometimes we enjoy some of the commentary, but
we beg to differ.
But we beg to differ a lot here on the Kurt Angle Show, and that's why we have Kurt Angle to hear it straight from the man himself. So talk about it a little bit more. Were there issues putting this one together at all? You said that you, Charles, and Mark Henry kind of spent the day working through some of the match. How was it putting the match together? Was Mark tough to work with, easy to work with? Talk about that process, Kurt.
Mark was great to work with. He agreed with anything that I said, and he was open to ideas. Charles was great with the ref bump. I thought the match was fairly solid, just a very short match.
Well, listen, it was fun. It was a good, entertaining match in terms of just the storyline build. Again, seeing you go from Raw to SmackDown, the confetti, the world title. You're still the world title holder here. And, man, lots of fun stuff. And then you talked about that orgasmic experience with The Undertaker and all that stuff after the match. Man, is there any inside secrets you can share with us about how they make all that happen with The Undertaker? And what goes on at Disney there? I mean, WWE.
I don't know what they do, but, I mean, this stunt was incredible. The magic guy, the stunt guy, the pyro guy did an incredible job. I mean, it was magic. It really was. The moment was incredible. I know the fans had a treat that night. And if you have never watched it, go look for it on Peacock or on YouTube. You have to see this entrance. It's awesome.
There you go. Well, Kurt, next week here on the Kurt Angle Show, we'll be celebrating the 1-year anniversary. I'm sorry, not the 1 year. It's actually going to be the 5-year anniversary of your show from Against All Odds. No, we're not talking WWE days. This is TNA, baby, from 2007. And my goodness, from the Royal Rumble in 06, winning the World Heavyweight title, to you getting your first shot at the NWA title since joining TNA against Christian and all that leads up to it. I know you're looking forward to that one. And I know you're also a fan of working with Christian, weren't you?
Oh, Christian was one of the best. He was great at structuring matches. That was his biggest asset. He had incredible ideas, very innovative ideas. He was a lot of fun to work with.
That's right. 15-year anniversary. I don't know what I said, but it is the 15-year anniversary that we'll be going back to do that, and I'm looking forward to it. So that's going to wrap us up this week, Kurt, but before we get out of here, man, you know what we do at the end of every show? It's time to talk about all the fun stuff you got going on in your life, and we're going to start with those chicken snacks at physicallyfit.com, buddy.
Physicallyfit.com. Chicken snacks. We have chicken protein here and plant protein here. There are 11 different flavors, incredible taste. You're going to love them. We've got nothing but 4- and 5-star reviews. You can get these at physicallyfit.com. If you use the code AnglePod20, you'll get 20% off your first order. If you become a member, if you go online on the website, physicallyfit.com, you become a member, you get 25% off forever.
Man, that sounds like a great deal. Great snack food to have. Full of protein, man. I know people are looking to get in shape. It's still January.
No carbohydrate, yes.
Working on those goals for 2022. The other thing that I wanted to touch on is KurtAngleBrand.com, where you can find some really cool stuff, even like this Angle milk carton, man, where you get all this fun stuff. The 3 I's: intelligence, integrity, intensity. Kurt, tell them about the KurtAngleBrand.com website and what they can find there.
You can get milk cartons, cowboy hats, birthday cards, signed autograph photos, T-shirts, Cameo voice messages. We got the whole ball of wax. Just go to KurtAngleBrand.com and sign up, and I'll send you whatever you ordered. I'll send it to you, personalize it, and send it back to you.
I love the Cameo idea, man. Be creative with your Cameo requests for Kurt. He does it in usually a very quick turnaround. But some people have been having lots of fun with those. I've seen lots of fun ones floating around online. So take advantage of it. Hit up our man, KurtAngleBrand.com, for all your Kurt Angle needs. Lots of good products to choose from in the shop. You can find them again, like you said, on Cameo. And then finally this week, WildcatBelts.com, where you can get that exclusive World Heavyweight Championship belt, that American Hero Championship belt. Man, there's a limited amount of those. Kurt's holding his up now on video with that beautiful design, 5 plates. It has his 6-time world championship plate, and the gold medal plate is on there as well from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The belt comes autographed by him on the leather strap, as well as a certificate of authenticity that is autographed by him and a stand that is autographed by him. And so, man, they've gone all out. Andrew and team at WildcatBelt.com have gone all out on the design and this beautiful belt, Kurt.
It's one of the nicest belts I've ever seen. It's not just because it's mine. It's quality leather, 24-karat gold plating. The designs are incredible, and I'm really proud of this belt. There's only 4 left, 4 remaining. And you go to wildcatbelts.com and you can order yours.
Buddy, red, white, and blue just pops on anything, especially a world championship belt. And when you see Kurt Angle, when you see Kurt Angle's name there, man, it's a sense of pride like nothing else. Check us out, YouTube, the Angle Pod, also Twitter and Instagram at the Angle Pod. You can find Kurt on Twitter at Real Kurt Angle, and that's where he gets real. I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun and very entertaining. Or you can find him on Instagram at The Real Kurt Angle. Kurt, it's been a pleasure this week. Look forward to getting back with you again. Check us out on ad-free shows. You and I are doing some fun bonus stuff this year. I know we recently recorded Austin against you from 2001, which we had covered in that Royal Rumble megasode when we talked about that match at Raw, and that was a lot of fun. We're going to do more of that stuff this year, so get in on adfreeshows.com now. Dude, they just had Ric Flair on last night to cover his 92 Rumble.
I thought it was an incredible episode, and it was about Ric Flair, I think 1992 Royal Rumble.
That was it, and Rick was on.
It's really cool to hear it.
Yeah, so again, great stuff at adfreeshows.com. Level up, be a part of all of it. But that's going to do it for this week. On behalf of Kurt Angle, I'm Paul Bromwell. We'll see you again next week here on The Kurt Angle Show.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.